everyone. My name is Stacy Benjamin, Director of Special Programs at CIEE. I'm excited and honored to be joined by the winners of the second annual Student Challenge, Obed Karasonge, Joselito Bajo from Kepler College in Rwanda, and Nimco Ibrahim from African Leadership University. In case you're not familiar, CIEE has partnered with UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and asked students from around the world to share their ideas to support increasing access to higher education for forcibly displaced youth, one of the most critical issues of our time. The finalists in that competition join us at our annual Global Internship Conference to present their proposals, and this is the team who won in London last year and were also awarded $50,000 to implement their plan. Given the fact that we're reviewing applications now for the next student challenge, which will offer the opportunity to go to Singapore in June, we thought now would be a great time to check in with this team, see what progress they've made, and what advice they might have for students competing in 2025. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Your proposal was a mentoring program for high school students. Could you describe that in more detail for us?
Thank you so much. It is our absolute pleasure to be with you at this moment. Commenting on the problem you just asked, yeah, definitely our proposal or our program was mentorship of the recent high school graduates, and that kind of gives us a great opportunity for us to pick these students who are the beneficiaries of the program, basically the refugees, and then we train them by making sure that we cover the skills gap so that they can apply to the higher education and ultimately attain it. And we are doing it as we've already started working on it by, as I said, covering the skills gap and providing all assistance as much as we could to make sure that they're at a certain level that we want them. And this is done by our fellow university students, which is something that we are very pleased about. And as I said, we do it within that time because when they graduate in late July, I mean in late June or early July, they will then be eligible for university the following year, the fall of the following year. And that gives us a lot of time to do everything possible to make sure that they are on that level we want them. And the amazing part about our program also is we believe in the long run, our program will be iterative to mean the people who will have passed through the program will then be the ones in charge of it. If you are an alumnus of the program, we assume that, and we are working on it, that after you have benefited it, you will then come back and give back, and then you train it by then students. And from the initial proposal, there are some recent changes from the group of feedback that we received from different people, especially by CIE team, that some time back were a bit vague, and you could just bring the resources and kind of throw them to the students. But now we are on the real pain points, which is covering the skills gap that a particular student has than just coming up with resources and then we say, oh, you cover them. We just analyze where you are struggling at, and then that's where we will be covering. And in short, that's basically our program is. Thank you.
Thank you for that description. CIE's president, Jim Pello, whom you know and have been working with, was one of the judges of the competition. And one thing that he liked about your proposal was that it was impactful and practical as well. So you've talked about this a little bit already, but can you tell us what the status of the project is now that you've had a few months to work on it?
Um, so the status of our project is progressing well. We are currently teaching mentees English and offering workshops to improve their confidence in language skills, which was one of the challenges that the four mentees that we took it had it. So, and this is really important for them to prepare, for them to apply into college in the future. Because I mean, like they should I mean, by the time we want them like to go through college and apply, we want them also to know how to write essays, and like they should be enough confident about themselves. So that are the studies that we are currently doing. And also on the other side, we are registering the NGO as a non-profit organization. So um, also that process is kind of like taking a little bit more time, because we are submitting more documents in the government, and for them to approve, it's taking like a bit of time. So we are patient as a team, we are waiting. So yeah, that's the status of the project currently.
Thank you, Nimco. So, as you have tried to turn your vision into action, and so you've kind of hit reality, as it were, what are some of the things that you have learned along the way?
Yeah, we have learned some really important lessons, like how basically the most fundamental one would be that like working together as a team is actually a key to making things work. Because everyone brings their own skills and knowledge to the table, and then by sharing the work, then we can handle the challenges we meet much more better. And we have also learned more about the paperwork side of things. Like setting up an official organization, it wasn't as simple as we initially thought. Many rules, legalities to follow and understand. And as my fellow mentioned, it's taking more time than we expected before. Also, working with students, it has shown us that everyone's situation is a bit different. So what might work for one student might not work for another. So we had to learn to be flexible with how we help each person. And after running the program for now 4 months, we now have a better idea of how long things really take. Some parts of the work needs more time than we planned for. So which taught us how to plan for extra time for unexpected issues. And most importantly, we have also learned how important it is to communicate with each other and have clear ways when it comes to making decisions as a team. And as we keep going, we're noting, documenting thing what works, what doesn't, so that we can keep on improving the program as we run it. Yeah.
So, you've learned a lot over these last few months. Thank you for sharing. A lot of work ahead, but we are excited to continue to watch your progress. I'm wondering if you have any advice for the students who might be thinking of entering the competition this year.
One advice, uh, well, not just one, but it's all about teamwork. So choose the team well and make sure they have complementary skills, because it will take them very far in the competition along the stages. And of course, keep it simple when it comes to as simple as it gets. Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah,
simple. Any other words of advice?
yeah,
Um,
definitely. I would also like to tap in and say something towards an advice to the teams participating in this year's challenge. Yeah, one thing I have kind of realized that most of the time goes through students' mind, and when they happen to undertake these kind of opportunities, is doing it for the sake of opportunity. Yeah, this is something that I've learned through this. Never ever do this challenge for the sake of doing it. Just do it because you feel it. Yeah, do it because you want to have your idea heard, because you have an interesting idea that you want to put out there, and definitely it will come out successful, regardless.
Thank you for that. Any other words of wisdom, Nimco?
I would definitely say don't be afraid to ask help or feedback from your mentor from your mentors, because that's one thing that helped us as a team, and and we I mean, we had two mentors from round one and round two, and every time they give us a feedback, we were making changes, improving, and working together as a team. So remember that even small steps can lead into big changes. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the important work that you're doing and for sharing your advice and thoughts with us. Students like you really do give me hope for the future. So it's just such an honor to watch you at work. And we encourage other students to compete in 2025 and potentially join us at the Global Internship Conference in Singapore from June 25th to June 27th. It's a gathering of leaders, not just in higher education, but in industry and government, who are all eager to explore how we can prepare young people for today's workplace and how internships can play a part in that. Email us at gic@ciee.org if you have questions, and hope to see you in Singapore.
See ya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.